Have you ever wondered how the internet, a tool we use every day, came into existence? Let's take a trip down memory lane back to the 1960s. It was a time of revolutionary ideas, and one of them was the birth of the internet, which started with a project known as ARPANET. ARPANET, or the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, was the first network to implement the protocol suite TCP/IP. These are the technical terms for the rules that govern how data is sent and received over the internet. At the time, it was a groundbreaking innovation, connecting computers at universities and government institutions across the United States. Fast forward to the late 1980s, a decade that saw the explosion of personal computers and the rise of a new invention that would change the world: the World Wide Web. This innovation, conceived by Tim Berners-Lee, gave us the ability to access information via hypertext documents interconnected through the internet. It was like opening a door to a new universe of knowledge where information could be shared and communicated across the globe in an instant. This was a turning point in the history of human communication. Before this, information was constrained by physical boundaries. Letters had to be mailed, documents had to be couriered, and people had to travel to share ideas. But with the advent of the internet, these barriers were broken down. Information could now flow freely, at the speed of light, connecting people and ideas like never before. The internet revolutionized the way we live, work, and play. It transformed industries from commerce to education to entertainment. It gave us the power to communicate with anyone, anywhere, anytime. It opened up new possibilities for collaboration and innovation, sparking a digital revolution that continues to evolve even today. Yet, like all powerful tools, the internet came with its own set of challenges. As we embraced this new technology, we also opened ourselves up to new risks. And so began the era of cyber threats, an unintended consequence of our connected world. And so the internet, as we know it today, was born. Let's dive into how we went from a handful of connected computers to the massive, sprawling web of information and services we enjoy today. Back in the early 90s, the internet was simply a novelty, a sandbox for tech aficionados and scholars. But change was on the horizon. This change was precipitated by the birth of the World Wide Web in 1991. The web simplified the internet, transforming it from a complex, text-based realm to a user-friendly platform where surfing from one site to the next was just a click away. Then came the late 90s, marked by the rise of email, redefining the way we communicated. Forget waiting for the postman, your message could now reach any corner of the world in mere seconds. Step by step, as we crossed into new millennium, the internet kept advancing, widening its influence. It began to redefine not just our communication, but our very way of life. The dot-com boom paved the way for online shopping. Giants like Amazon and eBay sprung up, offering a new wave of convenience, allowing us to shop without leaving our homes. But the journey didn't end there. The mid-2000s witnessed the surge of social media. Platforms like Facebook and Twitter began to connect people in unprecedented ways. In this digital universe, you could share your story with the world, rekindle old friendships, and even trigger social movements, not to mention the rise of streaming services. Gone were the days of being bound by TV schedules. Platforms like Netflix and YouTube let us watch what we wanted, whenever we wanted. In less than 20 years, the internet had radically shifted from a luxury to a tool ingrained in every part of our lives, altering the way we communicate, shop, mingle, and entertain ourselves. Internet was no longer a luxury, it had become a necessity. But with great power comes great responsibility and great danger. What were the first signs of trouble in this digital paradise? As the internet grew, it began to attract a new breed of explorers. Not all of them had noble intentions. This was the onset of cyber threats and hacking. The digital Eden was about to face its first serpent, in the form of the Morris worm. In November of 1988, a seemingly harmless piece of code was let loose on the internet by a young graduate student named Robert Morris. His intention was not to cause harm, but to measure the size of the internet. The worm, however, had other plans. It replicated itself excessively, slowing down thousands of computers to a crawl and causing an estimated $15 million in damages. This was the first recognized worm to spread across the internet, and it marked the start of a new era, the era of cyber threats. But the Morris worm was just the beginning. As the internet expanded, so did the opportunities for exploitation. Soon the world would witness the birth of phishing, a technique used to trick users into revealing sensitive information, such as passwords or credit card numbers. Then came the advent of distributed denial of service, or DDoS attacks, where multiple compromised computers are used to overwhelm a target with traffic, rendering it inaccessible. These threats were not confined to the digital realm. They had real-world consequences. Businesses lost money, personal information was stolen, and national security was threatened. The internet had opened up a new frontier for crime, and law enforcement was scrambling to keep up. The digital world had shown its dark side. It had become a playground for hackers and cybercriminals, a place where your secrets could be stolen, your identity could be taken, and your life could be turned upside down in the blink of an eye. Cyber threats had made their debut, and they were here to stay. Cyber threats didn't just stay as small nuisances. How did they evolve into a global concern? In the late 20th century, the digital landscape experienced a new kind of menace. The rise of cyber threats began with simple viruses. These mischievous programs were designed to replicate themselves and spread from one computer to another, causing minor glitches and inconveniences. However, as the turn of the century approached, cyber threats became more sophisticated. In the year 2000, we witnessed the birth of the infamous "I love you" virus. Originating from the Philippines, this worm was sent via email with an innocent subject line that read, "I love you." Unsuspecting users would open the email, triggering the virus to send itself to every contact in their address book. It caused havoc worldwide, resulting in billions of dollars in damage. In the years that followed, cyber threats continued to evolve and diversify. Distributed denial of service, or DDoS attacks, emerged, overwhelming servers and networks with a flood of useless traffic, causing them to crash. These attacks were often used to take down websites or entire networks, resulting in significant financial loss and disruption of services. By the mid-2010s, a new type of cyber threat had taken center stage: ransomware. This malicious software would encrypt a user's files, holding them hostage until a ransom was paid. The WannaCry ransomware attack in 2017 was a prime example. This global cyber attack targeted computers running the Microsoft Windows operating system, encrypting data and demanding ransom payments in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency. From viruses to ransomware, the evolution of cybercrime has been marked by increasing complexity and scale. Cyber threats have evolved from simple nuisances into sophisticated attacks, causing billions of dollars in damage and affecting millions of users worldwide. They have transformed the internet from a digital playground into a potential minefield. The internet had become a battleground, with every user a potential victim. So, how are we protecting ourselves in this digital war zone? As we ventured deeper into the digital realm, we quickly recognized the need for cybersecurity. The earliest forms of defense sprouted up in the late 80s with the development of antivirus software. These digital guardians scanned our systems for known threats, acting as a first line of defense against malicious code. Yet, as threats evolved, so too did our defenses. Firewalls emerged as the sentinels of our systems, monitoring incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. They acted as barriers between trusted and untrusted networks, blocking or permitting data packets based on these rules, thereby providing an additional layer of security. But the real game changer was encryption. Imagine a secret language that only you and your friend understand, and you've got a basic idea of what encryption does. It scrambles data into an unreadable format, which can only be deciphered with the correct encryption key. This ensures that even if data gets intercepted during transmission, it remains unreadable by unauthorized users. However, technology alone cannot fully secure our digital landscape. It's like having a state-of-the-art security system at home, but leaving the front door wide open. That's where user education and safe internet practices come into play. Understanding the basics, such as not clicking on suspicious links, creating strong passwords, and being wary of sharing personal information online, can go a long way in safeguarding us from cyber threats. Moreover, organizations are now investing heavily in employee training programs to combat social engineering attacks like phishing and baiting. These programs aim to create a human firewall, adding another layer of defense to the technological ones. The fight against cyber threats is a complex one, involving a delicate balance of technology, education, and vigilance. It's a race against time where we must constantly adapt to keep one step ahead of the cyber criminals. However, the good news is, we're not going into this battle unarmed. We've got our antivirus software, firewalls, encryption, and most importantly, an awareness of safe internet practices. The fight against cyber threats is ongoing, but we are not defenseless. The internet is still evolving, and so are the threats it faces. What does the future hold? As we hurtle towards an increasingly digital era, the landscape of the internet and cybersecurity continues to morph. It's a thrilling yet precarious dance of innovation and risk, where every new advance could be both a solution and a potential threat. The rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning, for example, is a double-edged sword. On one side, they promise to revolutionize cybersecurity. Machine learning algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns of malicious activity faster than any human could. They could become our tireless sentinels, detecting and responding to threats in real time, making our digital lives safer. But on the other side, these same technologies could be weaponized by cybercriminals. Imagine an AI that learns from every failed hacking attempt, evolving and adapting until it can bypass even the most robust security measures. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? And then there's the Internet of Things, a vast network of connected devices from your smart fridge to your car. As the IoT expands, so does the surface area for potential cyber attacks. Each device is a possible entry point, a weak link that could be exploited. But it's not all doom and gloom. The same interconnectedness that makes us vulnerable could also be our greatest defense. A united global approach to cybersecurity could be our best bet against these threats. Imagine a world where every device acts as a node in a vast security network, each one vigilant, each one protecting the others. The future of the internet and cybersecurity is a tale of light and shadow, a world of endless possibilities but also new challenges. As the digital frontier expands, so does the Wild West of cyber threats. And we're the pioneers, navigating this new terrain, armed with ingenuity and resilience. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the internet and the threats it faces will continue to evolve. As we step into this future, let's remember that the power to shape it lies in our hands. Let's embrace the opportunities, confront the challenges, and continue the relentless pursuit of a safer, more secure digital world. So what have we learned today? We've journeyed through the dawn of the digital age, witnessing the birth and evolution of the internet. From a government project to a global network, the internet has transformed how we communicate, learn, work, and play. Yet with great power comes great responsibility. The internet's rapid growth has given rise to a dark side: cyber threats. We've seen the rise of cybercrime, from the early days of hacking to sophisticated attacks that can cripple nations. But we've also seen the fight against these threats. Governments, companies, and individuals are working tirelessly to ensure the internet remains a safe space for all. The future of the internet and cybersecurity is promising, yet challenging. The internet has changed our world, and it will continue to do so. As we enjoy its benefits, let's not forget the threats it brings, and the importance of staying safe online.